If you're thinking about building a blog for your service-based business, I invite you to have a look at this quick video, and I'll raise the three big questions that I ask when people ask me if they should build a blog on specifically for a service-based business. Those are the three questions I ask to really make sure I give the best advice to people, and really to make sure that they invest the time and money that will provide them with the return on investment in a time frame that makes sense for them. So the first question is, well, will you write on a regular basis? And some sub questions is like, do you love writing? So if you're not someone that love writing, and me, if you asked me like 5 years ago, I hated writing and it's not something I did, and it took a while. Now I love it, but it's something that if you don't love it, you can still learn to love it, but just realize it might take a while and it might be hard at the beginning as well. Now I combine writing on the blog, and my type of writing is very short and to the point, but I combine it with videos, which can be very effective if you want to use YouTube as well and combine blogging and YouTube. The next question I ask people is, do you have content to write about? Do you have a plan? Do you have a list of ideas, a list of what you're going to write about in the next 12 months, for example? And just to show you here, for me, I've got this framework and this, checklist, and there are, probably 500 topics I can talk about related to Thrive Teams, to marketing, to describing. Like, this is an example of how to describe your products, your services on your website, and a list of questions your visitors will ask. And all of those questions here can be a blog post and a 5-minute video very easily. And I've got tons of things I can talk about on top of. I can ask my clients, I can ask the Thrive Teams audience about any questions they have with the tools or with design and or with marketing, and they can provide me with hundreds of questions, and I can easily answer those questions and record videos about it. So that's, again, you don't have to have that when you start, but it's good to have at least an idea about the 5 or 10 next posts you will create. And the reason why I'm asking those questions is that the biggest risk that people have when they want to have a blog, or when they set up a blog, or when they start it, is that they give up, right? So because if it's not natural, and if it's hard for you to write, and or if you don't have the time, if you're busy and you don't know what to write about, then the worst thing is that your visitors will click on blog on your website, and it's empty, or it just says welcome to my blog and there's nothing else, or the latest blog post is from 2 years or 5 years or 8 years ago. And that's common, and for small business owners, and it just gives this bad taste to your visitors, like why the last blog post is only 7 years ago, or why there's only one blog post since from 3 years ago, and you click on it and it just says welcome to my blog, and there's nothing else. So it gives this impression, that's a risk. It will give a bad impression to your visitors. So sometimes I tell people, if you want to start a blog post, you can start blogging, and then once you have 5 or 10 posts, then and do it like on a regular basis, and then we can put the blog, menu item at the top of your blog post. So have the item blog, and people can click on it, and then it looks that it won't look empty or dated. So that's the first question I ask people. The next question is, so what's your goal with the blog? What's your expectations? I see people coming to me and they think, oh, I'll just write the blog and I'm gonna generate leads and clients and I'll make a lot of money with it. But if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a goal, and if you don't have a strategy, there's a chance that you won't get there. So yes, some people are successful with it, but very often they have a strategy. There's a type of keywords or an audience that they target, or they do it for brand building and they can invest time and money in it, or they generate affiliate revenue from it, so they can justify spending on time or money, for writers, or they do it for trust building, and me that relates to sales. So that's my next question I ask people is what's your goal? What's your path to a return on investment? Um, and then the last question I ask people is there a better asset, a better investment of your time and money compared to a blog? Can you build something else? Can you build, a sales page or improve your sales page or, build some opt-ins or, a free product that you can offer to your audience or build an email list or so is there something else? So for me it's all about, everybody's got a budget and how do you spend that budget in a way that will provide you with a return on investment. And very often, yes, a blog is a solution if you're consistent at it with the right strategy. But sometimes, like me, I've started to blog after 2 years of helping people with Thrive teams, and then I had lots of questions that people asked me, a lot of topics to talk about, and that was a start. And I was not very regular at the beginning, and because I was busy and I didn't have the time. So all those questions, can be, you know, should be asked and should be considered at least when thinking about the decision. And just to wrap up, that's the biggest risk is giving a bad impressions to your visitors. And you can still blog, so that's what I tell people. Just to recap, you can still start blogging and hide the menu item blog from the top menu and from the footer as well. And once you have 5, 10, 20 posts, then we enable that, and it takes 5 minutes, and then it's available, and those posts will still be available from Google as well. So if you have any questions about the topic, please leave it below. If you want to talk to me as well, talk about strategy with me, just go on my website, just reach out to me, tell me what's your situation, and I would love to help you on this.